What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith. Hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic night. It's almost 9 o'clock. And ladies and gentlemen, I've had a few of you ask me some questions because obviously there was a little bit of news today, something we've been talking about. James Bradberry released from the Giants. So on this beautiful Monday, I thought we could talk a little bit about the Eagles cap space because, always like to keep you guys up to date. So I had Tony on Twitter asking me, could we sign James Bradberry? I'm going to make a video specific to him. I'm just going to take all the stats and all the things we talked about a couple months ago when we talked about James Bradberry being a possible trade target if you could restructure him because of that cap space being a reason he was a trade target. I didn't really feel the Giants would want to keep a 21, I think, $0.8 million cap hit for someone like James Bradberry, who is a great corner, but getting older. So they get rid of him, don't have a trade partner, which makes sense. Who's going to want to restructure, do all that stuff? They have to take it. I think they are taking over $10 million in dead money. Good for them. But the next thing that we'll talk about tomorrow is, what can we sign him for? Obviously, I know we have money, and I'll explain that in detail. But any questions you guys have, comments, throw my way. But I'm going to show you the Eagles cap space right now. And then we're going to take, because I got all the damn numbers. So, once I have those numbers, I can work my magic. So we're going to take the numbers that you see on the internet and on over the cap and all that great stuff. We're going to take those, and then we're going to take the actual cap hits from these guys. We're going to replace them with the bottom 51, two players. Oh, yeah. You guys are going to get to see all those numbers. I've got the math down here so you guys can see how it's done, how I'm figuring this out. And then I'll be able to show you what cap space we have this year, next year, and the next year. So any questions, any comments? Let's get it going. We've got some questions, comments already flying in the chat. Let's go. What is going on? My man Drew in the building. Dude, I'm pumped up. I'm ready to ride. We're talking cap space, and I know a lot of people maybe not too interested in that, but look, I need to let everybody know we've got money. There are ways to sign players. We know the secondary is still a little barren. We had a great draft. I love what we did with the trades, everything. Very excited, but yes, secondary could use some help. Drew, I hope you're having a great night. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate all of you guys hitting that like button, subscribing, whatever you're doing to support me. Truly appreciate the hell out of you guys. So let's keep it rolling. Need an Eagles Smoke Together podcast. Wilt, that's something I've been trying to work on with certain players, try to talk with certain people. So trust me, man, definitely something I want to work on, but nice to see you again, man. Hope you're doing well. I would watch, I would partake, I would indulge in life, and that would be a great time. Hope you guys are doing well, though. We got a King James, another king in the building. Appreciate to see you, man. Malcolm Jenkins or Bradberry. Well, we're not getting Malcolm Jenkins, but James Bradberry is somebody that we've talked about. Hope you're doing well tonight, King James. And we've talked about having the money. So I obviously wanted James Bradberry a couple months ago. So I'm all in for having a veteran guy here to help out with Zach McPherson, Tay Gowan. We've got Avonte Maddox in that nickel cornerback position. You've got guys like McCain. You've got guys like Gary Vincent that can try to win themselves a job. So Sasha Ray helps out at safety, defense. I mean, he's a special teamer, everything. So like guys like that. We're going to talk about Bradberry in detail. I mean, any questions you have about that, I'd be happy to answer them, but I want to show you. So this is what you're going to see when you go online. This is the Eagles cap space, but this is before the Eagles get all their rookie signings in. So we have Jordan Davis. We also have Kyron Johnson and Grant Calcaterra all signed their rookie deals. So we're just waiting for Cameron Jurgens and Nakobe Dean to sign their deals, but we already know what their cap hits are going to be. So we wait, whatever their deals are trying to get done, blah, 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 blah. We know the cap hits. That's all we are looking for, ladies and gentlemen. So what we're going to do is we're going to take those two cap hits because, as I said, we have now Jordan Davis is the only one that needs to be included into this because now, if you don't know, the salary cap is it's the 51, not all of the players. And, there's only 53 guys on your roster, blah, 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 the practice squad, all that great stuff. The top 51 cap hits are the ones that count. That is what your salary cap is. So we look at that, and the two guys that already were signed other than Jordan Davis, when you're looking at Grant Calcaterra and Kyron Johnson, their cap hits are around 700,000. So they will not actually count against the cap regardless. It doesn't even matter. So what we're going to do is We're going to pretend they don't even exist. You have the number already incorporated into that 10 million we saw there. So we're going to take a gander at 2022 first. And here, I'm going to explain it as we go here, ladies and gentlemen. But as I was saying, you have Cam. We're going to start at the top here. Cam Jurgens cap hit and Nakobe Dean's cap hit. Okay, so we have them for this year. Regardless of them signing, we know what that cap hit is going to be. So you combine those two numbers, as you see right there, and then the number in white you see is the rookie cap hits combined there. That's 2,341,659. So that is the cap hit from those two guys when they do sign. But what a lot of people will do is they'll either take all the rookies, take that off of the salary cap, or they'll take this number and they'll, deduct that from the salary cap. That is not what you want to do. What you have to do with these two guys is replace them with the bottom two. We talked about the top 51 guys counting against the salary cap. Well, what you want to do is take the bottom two, which is Andre Sacheret and Marlon Tuipulotu. So their salaries are now not going to count against the salary cap. So you replace, if you add those two numbers together first, you get the two lowest cap hits, and that's $1,748,979. So you're going to subtract that from those rookie cap hits to figure out what the cap difference is here for that number we saw in the beginning, which was that 10 million. So we are looking at only replacing, you only need $592,680 for salary cap when you're talking about those two guys that have not signed. So when you look at this next page, we've got that cap difference now. Well, we're looking at what that previous cap was with Jordan Davis included. That was your 2022 cap right there. Well, we're going to take away $592,680, and that is going to give us our 2022 cap space, and that is $9,588,458. Now, all of these numbers are subject to change. All the little ins and outs, and I will always keep you updated if they do, but this is always the roundabout where you're, this is going to be right. Okay, so you're around $10 million. That means you can still sign a bunch of players, and we talk about getting guys. When we talked about trading for a big name wide receiver before it happened, people, we don't have money for that. Yes, you do. You give them a huge signing bonus, and then you back end that deal, throw in dummy years or whatever you got to do. But that salary cap is small in the beginning, bigger change, and how we will restructure them. So money will be moved around and it'll be fine. Right now, we still have money. So you just saw right there, even after all you sign, you got $9 million. Now let's keep it rolling, and then we'll come back to it, and I'll show you guys again all of the cap space currently and then the next coming years. What is going on, my man AK in the building? Dude, we're going over the cap space, looking at what it's going to look like after we sign these rookies. Hope you're having a great night, my man. But look, the money is always the most important, and people want to know if we can sign guys. Well, we can. So you're looking at that. Well, the next year it's a little more, it may concern some people. So let's look at the money here. We're going to do the same exact thing you saw. Once again, there's the last. We're going to go through here. 2023, the same thing. We got Cam Jurgens, Nakobe Dean's future cap hits. We're taking those numbers. We're just taking it off of those guys there. Boom, boom, boom. You're getting that number. Once again, you come back here. Now you have the 2023 cap space. Now, that's obviously a very low number. Kind of concerns you, right? Well, it shouldn't concern you due to the fact that money will go up. The TV deals, we're going to roll money over. You're going to cut people. You're going to restructure. Money will be there. It's perfectly fine. So that may concern you, but we see how that, the rookies affect not too much. It's always a misconception that, all of this money is going to have to go to all these rookies, and that is not the case. So just wanted to make this show so people can come back to it, see that there was money there. And let me see if those numbers were actually moved around correctly. You got 135 and one. You got 989. No, okay. So the next year, the numbers were right in 2023. As you can see, the numbers go up for Jurgens and Nakobe Dean, both just a little bit, but the numbers are correct there. So you've got those numbers. You see that. But let's get to the final countdown here. This is the Eagles cap space, including the rookies. So you see here, this is it right here. Not after, we got to sign this guy. This is after you sign every single rookie. Right now in 2022, the Eagles will have $9,588,458. And then you see the next couple of years, that's fine. But look, you see that $37 million in 2024. And look, we talk about that TV deal, that all that great stuff. The money's going up. The money goes up for the other years too. So that money's going to go up. So when we got AJ Brown, Put a lot of money in that year because that number was like 57 million. So you took a big chunk there because of AJ Brown, but that's all right. So you want to take another chunk, you get someone like Bradbury. Maybe it's a 1-year deal with some dummy years and blah, 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 blah. Or you give him hey, you want to finish your career here? We'll give you a few years. You and Slay can finish it out. Teach these young men. I would love that. So we talked about that before with a restructure of James Bradbury when he was still a Giant, but now we don't have to do that. That 21 million is insane. But when you're looking at corners, I'm going to talk about this tomorrow during that James Bradbury special. Look, corners cost some money, man. And like maybe the 13 to $15 million range, because that would pay him if he's in like the 15 mil, 14 mil range. He would be like the top 15 corner. He definitely is. And I think, you got to get into like the 15, 16 mil range, I want to say, to get in like the top 10. I mean, the guy's really good. So I know he's getting up there in age. Maybe you could convince him, team friendly deal, whatever, but there's ways, and we're going to talk about that tomorrow in detail. But I just wanted to show you guys that there is money, ladies and gentlemen, and people are always saying there isn't. And it's like, well, I'm going to show you that there is. What I hear, if it's all right, our entire offense is coming 9.2 million this year. If that's the case, wow. Well, look, dude, I've talked about that a million times, like how little these big pieces are. And this is where the excitement came from last year. We've got a lot of young talent to build around. So if things don't work out for this guy or that guy, well, you draft and figure it out. We've got good picks. Well, we did awesome last year in the draft. We did awesome this year in the draft. So I'm even more excited. And the cost is jack shit. So you see there, we've still got money to spend too. So it's quite beautiful, to be honest with you. So I really can't stress enough that Howie knows, Jeffrey Lurie knows, Nick Sirianni knows, Jonathan Gannon knows. There are holes in that secondary per se. And look, I like Epps. I want to see what Kayvon Wallace has got. I'm glad Anthony Harris is back. I love Darius Slay. I love Avonte Maddox in the nickel. I want to see what Zach McPherson can be outside, but I'm not sure. So you bring a veteran guy like Bradbury in, I think it makes everybody feel much comfortable. Look, that pass rush is something I talked about a million times over. That's going to make things much easier on that secondary, so you don't have to panic too much. But we got a pass rusher in Hassan Reddick. You got the two gap run stopping Jordan Davis monster. I can't believe we talked about how we want to run hybrid schemes, and we have a nose tackle now. We have a Sam linebacker. I mean, Hassan Reddick's quite the upgrade over effing Jannard Avery, dude. And you got Kyron Johnson, not just Patrick Johnson there. You've got guys, even that Ali Fayyad is there. And he was a fast dude to watch, and he was fun to watch. But competition at a Sam linebacker position, there is a big role there for people. And we wanted to see more of that, but you just didn't really have the personnel last year. So I think this is huge. I think this is really huge, and I'm very excited about this damn team. Really excited. You got to think to more wide receiver prices go up. The cornerback price will rise too because it's fantastic. Well, man, they've been up. So that's always how it's going to be. And completely agree and that's why they want even more money, and they should, because they're the ones that have to stop the top dogs. So yeah, man, definitely. I think Kyron Johnson is a sleeper. I don't think no one's sleeping here. If you've been listening to what I was saying when we drafted him, but yes, I think people are definitely sleeping. So King James, I agree with you. I think that 4.4 speed, the fact that he can pass rush. We talked about what was his role going to be. You guys saw I made a video talking about that, but I took the clip, posted it on Twitter, talking about, he's going to be a Sam linebacker. That's a specific role we need. And Hassan Reddick's going to need some backup. I like Patrick Johnson. I do. But Kyron Johnson, dude, he played linebacker and then he switched to defensive end. That's a perfect prototypical Sam linebacker. He's going to edge rush. He's going to drop in coverage. He's going to do things that a lot of people can't do, but with his speed, strength at his size, perfect. So I love it, dude. Completely agree with you. And with signing all these dudes, with only having 5 picks, that allows you to have this money, sign a veteran guy. Don't be surprised if the Eagles do sign James Bradbury. That's why we talked about it a while ago. We talked about that while we were talking. Did I double it? Look, James Bradbury, it's possible. We talked about trading for a big name wide receiver, talked about all these things being very possible. Just remember, all these things are possible to those who wait. All good things, right? So let's just be patient here, man. Let's be patient. Jimmy, who's your cornerback 2 is right now, who we've got. Go check out that show, man. I've got the depth chart out there. I've got every single person the Eagles have on their roster competing. So we're going to see who the Eagles can really I'm going to add actually those rookie tryout guys. That some of them make it to, we'll see what happens. But we've got everybody. We're keeping tabs. We're letting you guys know what's going on here. But Zach McPherson's going to have to be out there battling it with Tay Gowan. You're going to have guys that aren't going to make people feel very comfortable. So I love Avonte Maddox inside, and if he has to kick outside, I don't like that. So I like that Zach McPherson's versatile, can play in and out. But dude, I would, just like last year when I said add Steve Nelson, I would add a veteran corner in James Bradberry. So I just think that's where it's at, man. I love the Kyren pick myself, man. Love it, love it, love it. Very much so. The dude should have been a much higher pick. Definitely steal. Yep. When we talked about it, I think that was a specific position where you get lucky because not a lot of teams are running that, or there are a lot of teams switching, running a more hybrid scheme, a lot of 3-man, 5-man fronts. And I think that you're going to see a lot more fun hybrid schemes. But we talked about it all year last year, and it was surprised to see people being like, oh, we're switching this year. It was like, dude, we did it last year. It just, we didn't have a nose tackle, so it didn't work well. Fletcher Cox didn't shine there because he needs to be a defensive end in a 3-4. But when you're playing 4-3, yes, defensive tackle. But that's why you get a Jordan Davis, put him right in the middle. That's exactly what that's for. You got a Sam linebacker and Hassan Reddick. Oh my God, dude. Kaiser White and Kobe Dean as linebackers. They can be your nickel and dime linebackers. Ladies and gentlemen, it makes me feel good that we had another great draft. So we've been talking about this, man. I'm excited, but we've got the money. Let's go Birds, baby. But I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to be talking about that James Bradberry edition, how much money the Eagles would need to spend on him, what I think we're going to need to do in other positions, all that great stuff. But tune in tomorrow. Believe Kennedy Brooks is being slept on. I think a lot of people, nobody's sleeping on. I think a lot of people are overreacting to Kennedy Brooks is where I stand, but I like Kennedy Brooks. I think he definitely looks good. Same with Jeremy Howard. I think this happens every year, though, the Josh Adams syndrome. I think people fall in love with people that are, undrafted, and it's like, okay, look, they could definitely. I was the person in 2017 said about Corey Clement being the guy we should be watching, and he did damn well helping us win a Super Bowl. So I understand that. But just because he did it, then a lot of people felt Josh Adams. And look, he was like the leading rusher that year for us, but that just told you how bad we were. But let's be real here. This kid's going to have to prove what he can do in the NFL. He did okay in Oklahoma. I love you guys go check out that undrafted video about Kennedy Brooks. I like the kid. I like Jeremy Howard, made a highlight video of both those guys. So I'm with you, man. Very intriguing. I think a lot of people, though, you'll see are getting wild, and you know what I'm talking about, dude. It's funny. It's hilarious, but I'm with you. I can't wait to see these guys duke it out because there is a role for a power back in this offense. I love Miles Sanders, Kenny Gainwell, really enjoy what the Eagles have there, and I like Boston Scott being back, but you've got somebody in Kennedy Brooks, same with Jeremy Howard. You've got guys that are going to compete as a power running back. They can catch the ball, important, but how well can they pass protect? We're going to see if they can earn themselves a spot. My man, I appreciate the hell out of you. Cannot wait as the season gets closer, but we're going to be doing more breakdowns. We're going to talk about Bradberry tomorrow. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. I have all kinds of things mapped out from the NFC East shows like we did last year. They were really fun, just taking a look at all the different positions for each team and discussing who we thought was, not necessarily better, but who we thought, was better suited to go up against each other. It was fun, if you guys remember last year, but we're going to do stuff again like that this year. I'm looking forward to it. Cannot wait to keep talking Birds, but you guys know if you need anything, you want to keep talking Birds, you can always reach out to me. I actually got to run. It's the little man's birthday tomorrow, so was doing all kinds of crazy stuff today. And, dude, for the first time in my life, I locked my damn keys in my car. So anyway, been that kind of day, but I still got to go run again, pick up some last minute things, but I appreciate the hell out of all of you. People think too much of a player that is drafted. They will do more. People think a lot of crazy things, man, from this guy went to this school, so he can't, or this guy was playing with this guy, so he can't. And it's like, for me, I want to see that person. They're their own person. I really don't care. And yes, I'm going to take everything and put it into context, where they played to school, who their competition was, all that. But I'm not going to say this guy's not good because of that, or this guy is good because of that. So I think for me, people take things to both extremes. You know what I mean? And I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm just saying, for me, I need to watch everything with a microscope, and I'm going to wait to see it before I get ahead of myself. And I think a lot of people definitely do that. Mario Goodrich got guaranteed money for a reason, and that's the kind of things you got to look at there. So King James is showing you why guys like that. Now, Obviously, you've seen in the last couple years, that doesn't mean that they are going to make the team. So, but it means they've got a great shot. It means that, other teams were calling, so they really had to make a push. So they like them. And if they do well, they will make the team. So let's hope he does well. Go check that undrafted video out. Talked about him, talked about Joby, talked about Blackwell, all of the secondary, even Reed Blankenship back there. There's highlights for all those guys, their college stats. Go check those videos out. There's all the information you want to know about all these guys that the Eagles are trying to make this roster, and I'm very excited about it. Even the young men, dude, it's all open because it's a young team, it's a hungry team, and you never know, being around a guy like Jalen Hurts, what that could do for somebody. So very excited to see what could happen. We shall see, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see. Yo, I appreciate you, dude. Oh, I'm going to keep trying to do that, man. And I appreciate you guys. I can't do it without you. So thank you for hitting that like button. Thank you for subscribing. We're almost at 600 subscribers. So I appreciate you guys. Slowly but surely, we're making it there. But hey, slow and steady wins the race. So I appreciate you just trying to get that, dude, all that information you possibly could need. And if you need anything else, you can always reach out to me. You take care as well. I appreciate all of you guys who tuned in. You're watching this later. You can always comment down below. I appreciate you guys. I do. Seriously, every moment you take out of your day to watch my show, I cannot thank you enough. So if you ever need anything, please feel free to reach out. I know a lot of you guys do reach out, and we've created a lot of really cool friendships, and you guys are like family to me. So I appreciate you guys. Stay safe out there. If you want to see, actually, one last time, we got off on a tangent there a little bit, but there's the cast race one last time. This is after the Eagles sign all of their rookies. This is what it will look like. Very excited about the future of this team. Remember, the money will go up the next couple of years, so we're going to dance with that money. Excited, but we have money. We're going to talk about Bradbury tomorrow. I cannot wait, but I got to roll out here, guys. I hope you all have a great night. Stay safe out there. Reach out if you need me. But, yeah, love you all. Have a good one. And as always, go Birds!